Look good in the suit though, Coach.
What scouting report on the Huskies?
Very talented team. Shoot the three exceptionally well. Three guys over 45%. So we'll have to push out on their shooters. Fultz is unbelievable. He makes plays, scores from all three levels, and makes plays for others. So very talented group. We're gonna have to play well.
Dylan was saying that you have put an emphasis on, when you're on the road, defense, rebounding, that's something that can carry over even if offensively the shots aren't falling. How do you try to take what you guys are working this weekend on your first road trip?
Well, we always hope that we guard a little bit, and rebounding is very important, but there's an old saying that defense and rebounding travel. Sometimes the offense doesn't. So we just got to make sure that we put our best efforts defensively, our best efforts on the boards. As I mentioned, Washington is averaging 85 a game, and offensively they're very good. So we're going to have to score some points, but we can't let them get their average. We don't want them to get their average. It's just like UCLA scored a lot of points on us, but they didn't get their average, and we want to make sure they didn't, because that 95, 96, whatever they were averaging coming in would have been a little bit too much. But we got to make sure that defensively and on the boards we're prepared to play.
We talked about Fultz. He's been pretty close to triple-double a couple times this year. He's a projected lottery pick. Just what do you see from him, and is he a top 5 talent kind of guy?
Absolutely. He's very gifted, shoots it really well, plays at a pace that he doesn't get sped up too much. Shoots the three really well. He's one of those guys shooting 45%. So definitely, someone that if the projections are right, we'll only have to put up with for 1 year. So, but he is very, very talented.
After the wins last week, national expectations are high again. What have you guys learned from the beginning of the year to this point to maybe dealing with that?
Not sure. Our guys, I don't think, paid a lot of attention to it. We struggled out of the gate, getting the ball movement that we needed. I don't know how much of it the national spotlight or the rankings had to do with it. We didn't have Dylan Brooks, that meant something. And, Dylan Ennis was coming off a year out, and he was awful rusty. He didn't play well early, which put a lot of pressure on our other players, and we didn't have a lot of things going for us early. I think we're playing better now, but we still have a long ways to go. I think we can get a lot better.
It's been a little while since you guys packed the bags up. It's been a while since you had to pack the bags and hit the road.
Absolutely. Last trip was to Hawaii, so the weather won't be quite as nice up north, but no, it was a great homestand. We needed it. We needed to get some things straightened out, and playing at home, and especially the crowd the last 2 games really energized our team and gave us a big lift. So now going on the road, but most of our teams used to going on the road. We should be, no excuses, we should be okay.
But that's kind of what you set up. I mean, when you set the schedule, you're looking at at Baylor and then at Hawaii, and hopefully come home and kind of learn some things and then get some things fixed that you've learned.
It was part of it, playing at home, and fortunately we have a administration that backs us and allowed us to get some guaranteed games so we could develop our team. Some people, I call them development games. We got to get better, and find a way to win, but get better in doing it. And I think those games did help us.
Earlier in the year, you talked about how important the month of December was for you guys. How do you feel you guys, played throughout the December, and are you kind of where you thought you'd be?
Yeah, I think so. The last 2, put a positive spin on it, because before that we didn't play real good. I thought we had moments where we played really good, and other moments where we just gave into it. We didn't have the ball movement, or we didn't have the defensive stops that we needed. But no, we're getting closer, and we made some strides in December, no doubt. But as I mentioned earlier, I think there's a lot more steps to be taken, and be very disappointed if we didn't continue to make those steps.
The last 2 games, your offense was really clicking, and I think Peyton's assist numbers were higher than his average over those 2 games. How much is that a correlation of just better offense and better point guard play?
Well, I think it was better ball movement from everybody, not just Peyton, but I liked our ball movement. I think Dylan had a big part of that, him being able to finish some plays, but him also making plays for others. most people don't realize he led us in assists last year, you know, and he's a playmaker, and I thought he did a good job. Dylan Ennis, assist to turnover ratio is nice right now. I mean, he's doing a good job. So we need to continue that. We need guys at that 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and guys making plays for each other.
What are you seeing out of UW this year, a game over 500, to have a guy like Fultz? And I think a lot of people think that maybe they've underperformed with the talent that they've had in recent years, some guys that have gone to the NBA. Is there maybe a reason that they've quote-unquote underperformed with that?
I don't know. Obviously I got enough problems evaluating my own program, you know, but they're a talented team. But with that talent, there's a lot of youth, you know, and that's difficult, you know, to try to bring young players together, and you know, you see us even with vets having trouble putting it together, and so, you know, heck, like I said, I have enough trouble trying to figure out which way we want to go with out lending advice to anybody else. But you know, they're a talented team. They play hard. They're rebounding +6, averaging 85 points a game. 48% from the field, 43 from 3. I wish we had some of those numbers. They got better numbers than we do, so we're going to have to play well.
Coach, you mentioned that a couple weeks ago you kind of felt stuck in the mud a little bit. Is that mud getting a little more watery after this last week and winning in the state?
The guys did a great job